Hi everyone. So today we are going to be finishing our royal self-portraits. Remember, we have looked at the artwork of Diego Velazquez and his royal portraits of the Spanish royal family in the 1600s as examples. And we have painted our skin color, we've drawn our faces, we've added color with oil pastel in spots on our faces, we painted our hair, we added a warm or cool background with watercolor crayons. And today we are going to be adding crowns and a shirt with collars of your choice. So I'm going to show you those options of what you can do today and finish this portrait up. The first one we might all be waiting for is the crown. So I'll start with that, which is you'll get a gold piece of cardstock paper. And then you will also have a choice of different templates to trace. You can make your own, but to make sure that you don't waste the gold paper, you can also use one of my templates. So there will be three different examples. This kind, and these are to trace on the back of your gold, or this kind. So you can see your three choices here. And then once you have decided which one you would like to create for your portrait, and you can test it out too and see which one fits the nicest on your portrait. I think I like this one. This one is the most challenging one too. So if you choose this one, just know that it's going to be the most difficult to cut out and to trace. If you're feeling like scissors are not your strong point right now, you need a little practice but not too much of a challenge, choose this one, the one with the triangle pointy tips, because this will be the easiest for you to cut out. And this one is the medium. So this is like, don't worry if you just prefer this one, pick it. You know, pick which one you prefer, but also know that this will be the easier one to cut out, a medium challenge for cutting, and this will be the most challenging for cutting out. So once you have picked your crown template that you want to use, you're going to turn your gold piece of paper upside down, and you're going to place your template right on top of the back of your gold paper. And then you're going to take a pencil. I'm using this pen so that you can see it better, but you're going to use a pencil to trace it. So you're going to hold it very still with one hand, and then you're going to trace around by pushing up against the edge and drawing onto that white back of your gold paper. It does not need to be perfect either. These templates are not perfect, that's for sure. So don't stress about it if you didn't trace it perfectly or if you cut yours out differently than how it is. This is just to get started. And then I can put my template aside, and I'm going to start cutting out my crown with my scissors from my glue stick and scissors container. And I'm going to cut it out like this. I'm going to leave those little spots not cut out yet. I'm going to just carefully cut towards the top of each of these little bumps and then down around and follow this line, because it'll be easier for me to go back in and cut out that small part than have to worry about all this extra paper. All right, and now I have my gold crown cut out. Make sure these scraps go in the recycle bin. And I can glue this to my portrait. So I'm going to use a glue stick for that on a messy mat. And since this is really thick paper, you want to make sure to add plenty of glue. Give it a little tap, turn it over, scratch the back. Really good this time, especially with this thick paper. Okay, now I have an option to add 3 or 4 gems to my crown. And so we have these gems this time working with them. They are sticker gems, so they should be good to go. You can have 3 or 4. Don't go crazy because we have to share these with all of the first graders. So look through them first before you start peeling it off. Once you peel it off, it's yours. You have to use it because it starts to get less sticky. So 3 or 4 of these gems. Let's say I want to have one of these here in the middle. And then maybe I'll do little ones in each of these. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one has 5 points. All right, if you have this type of crown, I'll let you have 5 if you're using some of the small ones especially, because we'll have more of the small size. So I'll pick one big one here and then I'll do a couple. Now, another way to do gems is by cutting out shapes with paper, and you can have as many of these as you want. So let's say I want to have like another shape down here. Once I have used up the sticker gems, I can cut out a shape from this colored paper and create as many as I want to go on my crown. So let's say I want a heart right there, and I want to have a couple of squares. That'll be easier for this, a couple of square gems. You can also do it this way. Then you're going to take your shapes and add glue and stick them on. All right, very good. So now that I finished my crown, I'm going to work on my shirt. So we have a basket with various patterned papers, and these are in this shape here. You may also have just templates to trace depending on when you have art. So if you have just a template like cut out of this type of cardboard thick paper, you might have to trace it yourself onto a rectangle and then cut it out. But for now, let's just use one of these. Let's see which one would look good. Since I have so much warm colors, I think I'll choose a cool color shirt like this. And if it's not matching up, I might need to move it or adjust it. I'm going to make mine a little smaller since my neck is a little smaller here. I think that looks pretty good. Now, if you would like to have a kind of collared shirt like this one, what you can do is right in the middle, you're going to cut a line, not all the way down. I'm going to stop about halfway, and then I can take that and fold triangles over to make it look like I have a collar on my shirt, like that. Now, the other option you can add to any shirt is you could leave the shirt just how you had it to start without a collar. And then you can pick through these pieces of doilies. Doilies are like those little fancy circles that you put like lace underneath tea sets when you're having a fancy tea party, right? So you can take one, you can glue your shirt down, and then you can also glue a doily on top to make it look like you have a fancy collar on your shirt. I think I like it like that, so I'm going to try that one. So once I've decided what I'm doing, I'll take my messy mat, turn my paper over. Now these are going to be really difficult to glue without ripping, so just be super careful when you're gluing your doily. So I'm going to glue my shirt down first. And you know what, for the doily, instead of rubbing it onto the doily, I'm going to rub it on the shirt where it's going to stick so that I don't rip the doily or get extra glue squeezing through all those little holes. I don't usually glue like that, but for this one, I think it'll be better. So once I have the glue on my shirt where the doily is going to stick, I put my doily down, I turn it over, and give it a good scratch on the back. All right, So now I have my finished royal self-portrait with a crown with jewels and a fancy collar on my shirt. Okay, so I hope you have fun with these.